How's it going, everybody? And welcome to Reckoning. We see the inside of the arena. The crowd is going wild. Pyro is shooting off left and right. We got fireworks. Everybody's going crazy up on the Titantron. We see that tonight the Vanguard Championship will be decided, and we will crown our first champion. Next week, we will be crowning our tag team champions. And there's a World Championship tournament. The bracket is revealed. There will be 4 opening matches before we get further into the tournament. Kane will be facing DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. And this version of Kane is he's Kane with the red and black mask, the bodysuit. Then we will have Triple H going against Drew McIntyre. Triple H long hair here. We will have Macho Man going against Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge. And we will have Hollywood Hulk Hogan taking on the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. Our first match is now underway, making his way to the ring. The Game. Triple H. He comes out. He's got the water bottle in his hand. He makes his way down the entrance ramp. He gets up on the ring apron. He spits the water in the air. He mists the water at the crowd. Now, coming out, his opponent, Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre. Drew comes out. He's got his kilt on. He's storming down to the ring. He's not wasting any time here. He wants to get this match underway. The bell dings, and these two men, they start this opening contest in the World Championship Tournament. So, this match, there's a lot of back and forth, and it's starting to look like no one man is really getting the upper hand here. And eventually, Triple H, he pokes at the eyes of Drew McIntyre, trying to get a window here. Drew's, startled. Irish whips him into the ropes, picks him up, hits a big spine buster. The crowd's going wild. Oh, they're all going crazy for this opening match. Triple H, he's egging Drew to get up. Drew's, he stumbles up, kick to the gut. Triple H tries to put him in position for the pedigree. This results in a back body drop. Drew drops him down, and then Drew, he's not wasting any time. He's on top of him. Ground and pound, until eventually Triple H has had enough, and he rolls to the outside of the ring. But Drew, he's staying on top of him here. Drew chases him to the outside, but Triple H, he has this situation scouted, and he smashes Drew McIntyre's head into the ring post. And then he takes advantage, and he's lefts, rights, raining down on Drew McIntyre. And then he hits a big suplex, smashing Drew onto the padded flooring. Then Triple H, he rolls him back into the ring. As he's getting back into the ring, Drew's, getting some clarity here, and he kicks Triple H right in the head. He stumbles back into the ring. Drew gets on top of him. Irish whips him into the corner, goes running, tries to hit a Claymore, but Triple H has it scouted. And then Triple H hits a DDT onto Drew McIntyre. He's looking to end this match and going for the kill. And as Drew is starting to get back up, Triple H hooks in the pedigree. Boom, hits the pedigree, goes for the pinfall. 1, 2, kick out. Almost a 3 count here on Drew McIntyre. Triple H looks at the ref, and he's telling him, that was a 3 count. Why aren't you counting faster? So he's looking a little agitated here. But Triple H knows he wants to win this match and move on in this tournament. With Drew McIntyre down on the flooring, or on the ring mat, Triple H decides that might as well go for another pedigree. So he picks up Drew McIntyre again. He kicks him in the gut, but Drew's not having this. Drew swings back up with his head, big headbutt to Triple H, shoots Triple H to the ropes, and hits Triple H with a big clothesline, knocking him down. Drew's trying to regain some momentum, and he grabs onto Triple H, hits a big suplex. Then he goes to the opposite corner. He puts his hands in the air. He's counting down 3, 2, 1. He goes running, hits the Claymore on Triple H here. Goes for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. And we have our first winner in the tournament, Drew McIntyre. He is our winner here. Next up is our Vanguard Championship title match. This is going to be a fatal 4-way match where RVD, Damian Priest, Darby Allin, and Seth Rollins will face off here. Each man comes out making their respective entrances. The bell sounds, and the match is underway. So during this match, it is chaotic as can be. Darby Allin, being the daredevil he is, he's going after Seth Rollins, and RVD, him and Damian Priest are duking it out. So with this being a fatal 4-way, there is no disqualification. So that only means that further chaos is going to ensue here. So RVD and Damian Priest, They're fighting their way up the entrance ramp. RVD, he spent plenty of time within ECW, so he's willing to take the risks and go extreme if need be. So they're fighting up the entrance ramp, each man kind of taking turns of being in control here, and eventually Damian Priest finally gains momentum, and he throws RVD into the Titantron. RVD, he's smashes his head off there, and he's dizzy as can be. Damian decides that, you know what, let's try to put him away. He goozles RVD, picks him up, tries to do a big South of Heaven choke slam, but this is not to be, and RVD decides that he's gonna, kick Damian Priest in the gut and then hit a big Hurricane Rana onto the steel ramp. So while those two are fighting on the entrance ramp, Darby Allin and Seth Rollins have taken their fight ringside by the announce tables. Seth, he's in control here. He Irish whips Darby into the barricade and then goes for a running drop kick, but misses, and Darby's able to capitalize here. He takes Seth's head and smashes it off the barricade. Seth's all kind of down and dizzy, so Darby climbs up on top of the barricade and hits a crossbody dive onto Seth. The crowd's going wild. So then Seth and Darby, they're trading blows back and forth, and they eventually end up onto the announce table. Both men are just battered and beaten here. Seth, taking a page out of Triple H's book, tries to go for a pedigree here, but Darby's not letting him. Darby is not letting him whatsoever. And Darby, he gets out of the pedigree position. He's just duking it, punching Seth, punching him down. And he's going to try to do a drop kick Seth off the announce table. But Seth moves, and Darby smacks his back onto the top of the announce table. With this being said, decides this is the perfect opportunity. As the announce table is close to the barricade, Seth runs and hops on the barricade, turns around, big running stomp to Darby, smashing his head into the announce table. But it doesn't collapse yet. It doesn't collapse. From here, he rolls Darby back into the ring. And while all this is going down, RVD and Damian Priest have made their way back ringside. And Damian, he's able to get the better of RVD here. And he grabs RVD and Irish whips him into the steel steps, putting RVD down for the moment. But then he's kind of taking a breather. And Seth just putting the boots to Darby. Darby will not stay down. He's got Darby down in the corner, putting the boots to Darby. He then kind of picks him up, and he sets Darby on the top turnbuckle, and because he's going to go for like a superplex off the top rope. So he's climbing up to meet Darby on the top turnbuckle, but Darby's fighting back. He is fighting back. Darby kind of knocks him down, just kind of stumbling. Darby turns around, goes for a coffin drop, hits it on a Seth, tries to go for the cover. 1, 2, Damian slides in, breaking this up. He then grabs on to Darby, hits a big razor's edge. Seth's kind of being down and out. This allows Damian to try to go for the pinfall, but Damian's feet are too close to the ropes, and RVD pulls him to the outside, trying to capitalize here. He knocks Damian into the barricade, and RVD, going as quick as he can, even though he's beat up here, he climbs to the top rope, stands up, everybody's on their feet. He does the thumb point. Rob Van Dam! He jumps, trying to get a frog splash onto Darby. He's flying through the air. Seth pops up, big super kick to the head of RVD. He runs up, bounces off the ropes, hits a big stomp, smashing RVD's head into the canvas. Rolls him over, goes for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. And we have a new champion here. Our first ever Vanguard Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. And Seth, he climbs up to the top turnbuckle. He's holding his ribs. He's beat up. He raises that Vanguard Championship up high above his head. He is proud. The interviewer, she asks him, Randy, how do you feel on facing Hogan next week in this world title tournament? Randy looks at her and he says, well, I've killed many legends in my time, and Hogan will be just a relic of the past. He will meet the most dangerous letters in all of pro wrestling, the RK. He's very intimidating here, and then he walks off, leaving the female reporter all alone. Next up, we have a tag team match. We've got the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, going against two ECW Originals, Cactus Jack, and Sandman. Well, this match soon falls apart as weapons are introduced from both teams. Trash cans, chairs. Eventually some tables are put up outside of the ring. Both teams have been beating the hell out of each other. And eventually Matt Hardy, he's down in the ring. Cactus Jack, he's looking for something under the ring apron. He grabs a bag, climbs back into the ring, opens it up and pours it all over the canvas. It's a bunch of thumbtacks. He makes his little bang bang finger guns at Matt Hardy here, helps Matt to his feet, and he's going to try to hit a DDT to smash his face into the thumbtacks. Matt, he's fighting. He's trying to fight back, but he's just fatigued from this match that is no longer a match, as the ref has called this off, but all craziness is breaking loose. And eventually, Cactus is able to get the upper hand, and he just lays Matt Hardy down hard into the thumbtacks. Matt, he's writhing in pain back and forth, and Sandman comes in with a kendo stick and is just smashing down Matt Hardy. But before these two men can really celebrate here, out of nowhere, Jeff climbs up to the top rope, hits a big flying drop kick to take out Sandman and send him to the outside of the ring. Cactus Jack tries to get the jump on Jeff, but Jeff is too quick. He hits a big twist of fate, climbs to the top rope, hits a swanton bomb, and the Hardy Boys stand tall in this endeavor. Next up, we get a vignette introducing the Kings of the Black Throne, where Aleister Black and Brody King, they're in the darkness. There's like smoke and kind of candles flickering around them. And Aleister Black says that darkness is coming, and he puts the tag team division on notice. He also goes on to mention he is coming, but who is he? We will have to find out. Next up is our second match in the World Heavyweight Championship Tournament. Out comes DDP Diamond Dallas Page. Long-haired DDP here. He puts his hands up in the diamond. Bang! And he makes his way down to the ring. And next up is a big red machine, Kane. He makes his way onto the entrance ramp. The flames shoot up, and the crowd is going nuts. But before Kane can really get down the entrance ramp, DDP runs up it, and he's meeting him with punches. He's trying to get the upper hand here quickly on the big red monster, because DDP feels that he's outgunned. So eventually both men get back into the ring, and the bell rings, and it's on. So try as he might, DDP is just not able to really get the upper hand here. Kane is really shutting DDP down at every single endeavor, and DDP is also trying to use some underhanded tactics here. Eventually, DDP, he's kind of grabbing on the ref, and the ref's distracted. He kicks backwards and hits a low blow on Kane. Kane is, bending over, holding his groin. DDP tries to go for a diamond cutter on Kane, but Kane pushes him off into the ropes. He turns around, comes back, gets a big boot to the face from Kane. And Kane, he's kind of looking slowly back and forth at the crowd. He bends over, grabs DDP by the throat. DDP, he's squirming back and forth. He's squirming. He's trying to get out of it. But Kane is locked in, and he's ready to go in for the kill. He picks him up high. Big choke slam onto the mat. The ropes shake back and forth. But Kane's not done yet. Since DDP tried to smash the family jewels, Kane decides that he's going to drop DDP on his head. He picks up DDP, hits a tombstone pile driver, goes for the pinfall here. 1, 2, 3. Here is your winner, and advancing into the tournament, Kane. Kane lifts his arms up in the air, throws them down. Fire shoots from the ring posts as he stands dominant over Diamond Dallas Page. After this match, we then have another singles match. Big Bronson Reed going against Eddie Kingston. So during this match, Eddie, he's putting up a good fight. He's really trying here to take on Bronson, and he's chopping him good. He's trying to chop down and strike down this big tree trunk of a man who's Bronson Reed. No matter what, it's just not enough to keep Bronson Reed down. Eventually, Bronson Reed uses just his mass, and he smashes Eddie in the corner, and then he picks him up for a big body slam. Bronson Reed goes to the top rope, jumps off, tsunami. He goes for the pinfall. 1, 2, he lifts up Eddie Kingston's head. No, Bronson Reed is here to make a statement. He climbs back up to the top rope, jumps off, another big tsunami splash. Goes to cover Eddie again. 1, 2, almost a 3 count. He lifts up Eddie's head. He shakes his head back and forth. No, no, no. The big Aussie machine, he means business. Climbs up once more, jumps off a third tsunami onto Eddie Kingston, and then finally covers him for a 3 count. Bronson Reed is here to show his dominance. We then cut backstage where Seth, he's walking down one of the hallways in the back with his new championship draped over his shoulder, and then all of a sudden, a big imposing figure comes within his path. And Seth kind of stops for a second. The camera then pans back at this figure, and it is none other than the Samoan bulldozer, Umaga. Umaga standing there just heaving, gritting his teeth. Some drool, a little bit like spit and drool comes out. He is marking Seth as his prey. Next up, we cut to another area within the backstage environment, and we find Big Van Vader. He's stomping through the backstage area. He is pissed off. You can hear his breathing. It's heavy. He's just a ticking time bomb. He is just mad as can be. Bray Wyatt, wearing a sweater vest and looking happy as can be, he's just kind of strolling along, head in the clouds. He looks at Vader, gives a little wave, and he says, everything is going to be just fine. We just have to remember to. And Vader, he doesn't let Bray finish here. He grabs onto Bray Wyatt by the collar of his sweater, and he slams the bump against the nearby wall with one of his fists. And Bray, he doesn't struggle. He's just kind of letting this happen, and he's just kind of grinning at Vader here. Vader leans in and gets up in his face, and he says, I'm not in the mood for puppets or fairy tales. Stay out of my way, or I'll tear that smile off your face. Vader shoves him. Bray crashes into one of the nearby production crates. For some reason, he's wearing glasses here, and his glasses shatter on the concrete floor. Vader just keeps on going, storming down the corridor towards the locker room. But as Vader gets halfway down the hallway, the lights start buzzing, and they kind of get louder. The hum does of these lights. And then the hallway lights start throbbing in a rhythmic kind of way, and they turn red. And then music starts to play. And then Vader, he's looking around like, what in the hell is going on? And almost like a childlike voice appears through the darkness. Let him in. Let him in. And Vader, he spins around. His fists are clenched, and he's looking back down the hallway where he left Bray. But the hallway is empty. Bray is gone. And the lights, they pulse faster and faster. Vader, he looks a little rattled here. He's shouting down the hallway, show yourself! But there's no one there. Next up, we return back into the arena, and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall of the NW, they lay down an open challenge and invite anybody to come out. Out comes Finn Balor and Kevin Owens. They decide to accept this fight here, and well, things seem to happen rather quickly. They're using underhanded tactics, and they're doing a really good job of isolating Finn Balor from Kevin Owens here. But finally, Finn Balor, he's able to get that hot tag to Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens, he's taking the fight to Kevin Nash, trying to take down Big Kev. He goes for a stunner, but he can't. Kevin Nash grabs him, hits him with a big choke slam. But this isn't enough to keep down Kevin Owens. And there's fighting back and forth between both teams. And eventually, Kevin Nash, he's able to hit a big jackknife powerbomb onto Kevin Owens. He's going for the pin here. 1, 2, off the top rope comes Finn Balor with a coup de grace, smashing his feet into the back of Kevin Nash. But Scott Hall is not to be left out. He pulls a pair of brass knuckles out of his trunks, gets a good swing on Finn Balor, knocking him out. He somehow manages to drag Big Kev over, tags himself in, hits the razor's edge on Kevin Owens, and gets a pinfall victory here. After this, none other than Hollywood Hulk Hogan. He's making his way down to the ring. He's smiling. He's happy as can be. And he joins his NWO brothers in the ring. He grabs a mic and he says that the NWO is for life. And life sometimes in life, things need to change. And he says that the NWO could use a fresh coat of paint, brother. And no sooner after he says this, from out of the crowd comes Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed, and they get the sneak attack on Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Braun Strowman, he gets a big running power slam and puts Kevin Nash through the announce table, and Bronson Reed starts just going crazy, hitting tsunami after tsunami after tsunami onto Scott Hall. Both of these big monsters close in on Hulk Hogan. He's kind of cowering back in the corner of the ring, and then he stands up. He has this cocky smirk on his face. He holds up both of his hands, and they too sweet each other, therefore signaling the end of the former NWO. And maybe this is the new version that Hulk Hogan said that he wanted. The NWO theme song plays, and the show goes off the air.